Talking about Olympic security this morning right here because I had a conversation with Fred Burton of Stratfor. He is with the geopolitical intelligence firm based right here in Austin. And he knows security well at the Olympics because did you know he was actually in charge of it for the 1996 Summer Games in Atlanta when a bomb exploded during a concert outside the Olympic Village. So I asked him what worries him most about the games in Pyeongchang. Is North Korea a threat to the games in Pyeongchang?
No, I don't think so. The North Koreans have a lot at stake here. They actually have Olympic athletes attending the event. And trust me when I say this, having worked Olympics myself, that the North Korean athletes visiting Seoul for the Olympics will probably be the most protected athletes, because the last thing that the South Koreans want is anything to happen to the North Korean athletes inside the Olympic Village or at one of the venues.
When you're taking a look at security from a counterterrorism standpoint, what are you most worried about then when it comes to the games?
I'm not worried about the Olympic Village or the actual perimeter of the Olympic proper. That will be locked down. It's those venues outside of the security bubble.
It's those soft targets that you've mentioned so many times.
Yes, of course. Your soft target venues, and those would be nightclubs, bars, hotels, away from the actual Olympic Village, where you're still going to have a tremendous amount of international tourists, visitors, VIPs. With the rash of, for example, vehicular rammings that we've seen throughout Europe and in the United States, I would be worried about that too, outside of the security perimeter.
Continue our conversation with Fred Burton of Stratfor this morning. He is the Chief Security Officer of the geopolitical intelligence firm, which is based right here in Austin. And earlier in our newscast, he talked about the soft targets at risk for terrorists, he says, at the Winter Games. But he also says there's something else on his radar.
The other thing to think about, too, in all these large-scale events, Sally, is that you have thousands of people that have been hired to support this. Right. So you have to start thinking about who are these people. So if you're organizations like Al-Qaeda or the Islamic State, you have years to plan for something. So in the back of the agent's mind, standing post is, well, how good of background checks were actually ran on all these folks, the vendors? And what about the media? And who are these folks at times? So you're always thinking of things like this, and you just have to depend upon good practices and procedures and good process to make sure everybody's safe.
Fred Burton, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, if you missed our earlier conversation, our one-on-one with Mr. Burton, he does say that he does not think North Korea poses a security threat to the Olympic Games. More on that on our website at kxan.com.